too.
I think that there's something from TAP that
Yep.
has been emailing me and he sent me a follow-up this morning, so.
Okay, if everyone wants to find their seat, I think it's the witching hour. We want to welcome everyone out for the October 6th, 2025 Morgan County Council meeting. If you'll all stand, I'm going to have Brian Culp lead us in the pledge, and Vicki Kivett will lead us in prayer.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Dear Heavenly Father, we just thank you for this season of harvest, and we just ask that you be with those who are getting in their crops, keep them safe, keep people's eyes on them as they're moving their equipment around from field to field. Dear Lord, we pray for those who are serving our country, both on American and foreign soils, and we ask that you keep them safe. We pray for those and ask your blessing on those that serve us in the roles of public safety, that be with them and as they accomplish many awful things in their career, what they have to see and deal with. Just give them clear minds and willing hearts and capabilities to continue on in the role that they play. And dear Lord, we thank you that we do live in a free country where we can have public meetings and that we're elected and can serve our constituents in the freedoms that come with our positions. Dear Lord, be with our nation as a whole and help us all to get along. In all these things I pray in your precious name as I give you thanks for your Son, Jesus Christ. Amen.
Amen. Thank you, Brian. Thank you, Vicki. We will call the meeting to order, and did everyone, well, let's do a roll call first. Everyone is present except Troy Sprinkle this evening. Troy had a scheduled vacation already, so he will not be here, but let the record show everyone else is in attendance. Did everyone else have a chance to review the minutes from it's actually our August 4th meeting? Any questions, comments, changes on those meetings or minutes? Hearing none, I look for a motion to approve.
Brian Culp will make a motion that we approve the August 4th minutes.
Thank you, Brian. We have a motion by Brian Culp.
Chip Keller, a second.
Second. All those in favor, please signify by saying aye. Aye. Sign. Motion carries 6-0. We've also been provided the treasurer's monthly and interest earnings report for August, the clerk's monthly report for August, and compliance with the equal opportunity employment plan requirements. Everyone receive a copy of that? Okay. We don't have to vote on it, just note that it was received. We're going to move into additional appropriations for this evening. Our clerk's here. We've got a additional appropriation, it looks like $7,320. Good evening.
Good evening.
Clerk of the courts.
Sorry. I am asking for an additional $7,320. The reason why I went over, I was not paying attention. I'll just admit I wasn't paying attention to my line item, and I was just trying to get moved. We started moving a month prior to the overtime. I wasn't paying attention to what the girls, how much overtime they were getting, and they were working really hard, and it was
Honest mistake.
It worked out well. I mean, we saved the county several $100,000s, so
Yes.
I apologize.
No.
I
no
know
need-
that you all do not appreciate the process that I handled this, so I do want to apologize.
Do you know what that project ended up actually costing the county?
No, I don't.
I was just curious, because I know,
I can research that.
that's okay. I was just like to see a final comparison, because I know that it was going to save hundreds of thousands of
Yeah.
dollars, and we commend you, Tammy, for
Yeah.
that. You went above and beyond to get that done and save, and so I think
I appreciate it.
this last number coming in,
That's
I
it.
hope will not be an issue. And you
No.
do feel that that'll be the last,
Yes,
last
that's
total?
it.
Okay. Any questions or comments for Tammy? And I think we all understand what we're referring to, the scanning, okay. Hearing none, I look for a motion.
Brian Culp will make a motion that we approve the additional appropriation of $7,320.
Thank you, Brian.
Melissa Green will second.
Motion by Brian Culp, seconded by Melissa Green. All those in favor, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Same sign. Motion carries 6-0.
Thank you.
Thanks for your hard work on that.
Do you want me to go ahead and do my others, or do you want me to come back up? I have transfers.
So we'll go ahead and do your
Okay.
transfers too. So what, I think that's,
I need to transfer $150 from
oh, yeah.
my supply, in the clerk supplies to years of service.
And why is that? I mean, why are you? you
For
short?
me,
Oh, you didn't count yourself. You're gonna have to make a checklist.
yeah.
But this is a transfer, so we're
Yes,
good.
it's a
We're okay
transfer.
with that, yeah.
And then, do you need to do an?
Let's do that one first. Let's
Okay.
do that. So we've got a request for a transfer of $150 from her supply line item to years of service. Any questions or
I'll
comments on
make
that?
a motion, Chip Keller will make a motion to approve that transfer.
Thank you, Chip.
Vicky Kivett seconds.
We have a motion by Chip Keller, seconded by Vicky Kivett, to approve the transfer of $150 as presented by the clerk. All those in favor, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Motion carries 6-0. And then your election,
And on the elections, $150, I forgot one of my employees. Sorry, this was for years of service, so it's a transfer.
okay. Request for a transfer again from supplies, but this is in the election office.
Yes,
$150 to years of service.
I'll make a motion to approve that transfer as well.
Vicky Kivett will second.
Chip Keller and Vicky Kivett, first and second. Those in favor signify by saying aye. Those opposed, same sign. Motion carries 6-0.
okay, and then I have in my records, the $500 going from supplies to overtime. So I was able to transfer some money into my overtime item.
Oh, it's at the
It's on
top.
the
I wouldn't see.
second
Okay,
page.
got it, got it. Explain that one again. What was the reason?
That's
What was going-
records, that was supplies, going from supplies to overtime. That was the additional funds that,
Oh,
those were
okay.
the funds that I was able to
The
transfer.
scanning.
Gotcha,
in
gotcha.
my
I was just afraid
records
there was something
department.
ongoing that, okay, I didn't catch. All right, so we have a request for 500 from supplies to overtime.
Melissa Green will make the motion to transfer the money from the supplies line item to the overtime line item of $500.
Records Department, just note that, yeah. I have a motion by Melissa Green
For the records department.
Brian Culp will second.
with a second by Brian Culp. All those in favor, please signify by saying aye. Anyone opposed, same sign. Motion carries 6-0.
Thank you very much.
Thank
Appreciate
you.
it.
All right, we have County Highway, an additional appropriation of $36,400. Good evening, Eddie.
Hello. Need additional appropriations. I guess we weren't budgeted 25 budget to cover enough for our workman's comp to begin with, to start with. It wasn't
I think
workman's comp claims or anything, it's just,
it's probably the rates just
yeah, the
increased.
rates, so there wasn't enough.
The audit runs behind, and they just didn't estimate high enough, so.
And then, unfortunately, you sometimes get what I refer to in insurance as the double whammy, because they will pick up that audit and there'll be an additional premium for that audit, and then they have to endorse the policy to reflect the audit figures. So I don't know if this is the end of that, but potentially, I think you could see another,
Yeah, we,
That would
I'm
be in
pretty
next
sure
year's
have the-
budget when they do
right?
the renewal.
Well,
Yeah.
unless they endorse it midterm.
pretty sure our budget for 26 is set the same way, so we're gonna have the same problem next year if we don't
Yeah.
get something to put in there.
We
Be right
we
back.
might note to the county's carrier that they ask for those adjustments after an audit, because we're just going to be playing the game of paying it backwards. So they need to endorse those policies to reflect what those audit figures are, not talk companies out of it, so. All right. We have this request for $36,400. Highway, Any questions, comments?
Melissa Green will make the motion to approve the amount of $36,400 for workman's comp in additional appropriations for the Highway Department.
Thank you. We have a motion by Melissa Green,
Joe Crone will second it.
seconded by Councilman Crone. All those in favor, please signify by saying aye.
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 Those opposed, same sign. Motion carries 6-0.
Thank you.
Eddie. All right, Monroe Township EMS Station Fund. Who's going to talk about that? Oh, you going to talk about that?
Well, I guess I will, 'cause Josh isn't here to
Josh
talk
isn't
about
here.
it. Okay, as you know, the Monroe Township EMS Station Fund, that is coming from an agreement with a developer at West Point. So as those funds come into our office, then we need to do the additional appropriations so that they can be spent to pay the developer for the project.
Yep. And to be clear, this is funds that are coming in from a developer. This is not money that is the county's
Yes.
taxable,
And this is not related to the data center.
correct, and not related to the data center in any way. It was actually another developer and months, even years ago, so it's, yeah. So just an explanation on that. So anyone else have any comments or questions from the council? Then I look for a motion.
Brian Culp will make the motion that we do the additional appropriation of $110,053.22.
We have a motion by Brian Culp on the floor
Joe Crone will second it.
and seconded by Joe Crone. All those in favor, please signify by saying aye.
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 Opposed, same sign. Motion carries 6-0. Thank you. All right, we've got the Sheriff's Department. Sheriff, are you going to go over this one with us?
I'm sorry, ma'am?
Are you going to go over this one with us?
Yes,
All right.
yes, pretty easy. We just need to shift some money, supplies, firearm supplies to firearms equipment.
And these are new account lines that our office thought were more appropriate for the purchases they were making. So we just set up the new account lines last month.
And then the other one, if you want to do it too, is SWAT supplies to SWAT equipment.
So is the name changing then, going forward from supplies to equipment?
We will have both lines.
We got the idea from Cracker Barrel. We wanted to do a little something different.
We wanted to rebrand.
Well, you know how that worked out.
Yeah, right, exactly, yeah. You liked that, didn't you?
What's the difference between a supply and a
I was about
equipment?
to ask the same thing.
Give us an example.
Survey says, I don't know. Yeah, you tell me, Chip, and we'll be on the same way, buddy.
What's that?
A supply is consumable, so that would be such, like the ammunition could be a supply.
So it's like an accounting definition. Equipment's depreciable, so,
Yes,
yeah, it's got a longer lifespan.
yes.
There you go.
There you go. That's what I was thinking, but I didn't want to act smarter than I was. so. You're welcome.
Hearing any,
I'll make a motion to approve this transfer of $35,807 from firearm supplies to equipment, and also the SWAT supplies of $3,104 to SWAT equipment.
Brian Culp will second.
thank you. We have a motion by Chip Keller, seconded by Brian Culp. All those in favor, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Motion carries.
Thank y'all, appreciate you.
All right, and then we have the,
To PTO
Yeah,
policy,
okay.
that's Ms. Dorie's turn.
all right, Doree, you want to come up? We've got on our agenda the PTO policy updates.
Good evening, everybody. A few months ago, a PTO benefit committee was formed. It included appointed, included hired, it included employees, it included elected officials. and
Judges.
Judges, pretty much a little bit of everything, of
Yes.
all the different types of employees that we have. And this committee met 5 or 6 times and went over Section 4 of the handbook in relation to PTO. and bereavement and a few other things like that. And this was their recommendation that you have for Section 4. Since I sent it out the first time, it was suggested that we took PTO days and made them into hours.
Right.
So, but there was only difference in one category, which was the 12-hour deputies. They work 80 hours in a pay period, as someone who works 8 hours a day, 5 days a week, works 80 hours in a pay period. So we did make that equitable upon the request of the sheriff
Okay.
and some of his department heads. Supervisors can now approve a couple days of unpaid leave for like medical reasons, family emergencies, that type of thing. For the employees, we had originally had it where a supervisor could do 10 days, and then the commissioners thought we had a lot of people taking advantage of that to go deer hunting, vacationing, mushroom hunting. So we changed that and we swung back this way and everything went to the commissioners. And so with what we've had the last couple of years, we chose to kind of swing back to the middle, and now supervisors can approve up to 3 days in a year's time with unpaid time. So we would follow the rule that the handbook, most handbooks do follow, that you have to use paid time before you use unpaid time. We have stopped doing this, but we wanted to make it official. No PTO transfer from one employee to the other upon request of our county attorney. Yes. We changed the payout. Most of the changes are for parity among our employees, and we have 7 hours, 7.5, 8, 10, 12, and 24. So it's very hard to get that way. Let's see, a couple of things were added for compliance. The Pregnant Women's Fairness Act, which we, as far as I can tell, we don't have an issue with that at all in the community. I mean, with our employees. But we did put that in there to make sure that we are in compliance, as well as in July of this year, you're allowed to have a school conference, one a year for one of your children. It's unpaid. You can use PTO, but we have to let you off for it.
Okay.
So that was added.
I was not aware of that.
PTO, we changed that over to hours. I think I said that. We also, you had, when you came in and sat down, you had a bereavement chart. And so we, upon talking after this was sent to several supervisors, we decided that since PTO was in hours, it made sense to put bereavement in hours. So no, we didn't change any of the amounts for that. It's just a little bit easier to see what you're going to get.
Yeah. If we're doing that.
Is there anything else that you would like me to speak on? It was requested by the committee, I will say this. Another big change, we have a 90-day probationary period. And at the end of that probationary period, you get the PTO that you're going to have for the first year. And so the committee requested that we change that from 14 days to 10. So nobody.
The allowable amount after 90 days?
Uh-huh.
Okay, that's available.
So they have 9 months to use 10 days.
Got it.
We also changed it to where if you are going to be off on a holiday, the day before, the day after, you have to be in paid status for the entire day, the entire shift. You can't just come in and work 1 hour and then expect to be paid for your holiday. So we're going to change that and tighten that down just a little bit.
Okay.
There were a few of the other things in other sections that we are handling with this. And I know this is the first reading, and we do not have the ordinance for you to sign yet, but we will have that at the next meeting.
Okay.
The two things that were changed, Sheriff Rich Myers had asked for his deputies to have be able to accrue up to 40 compensatory hours. And you guys approved that change, but we never changed it in the handbook. So that is one that's going to be changed. And then the other one, right now, the way the handbook reads, if an employee is terminated and they have PTO, they're going to get that PTO paid out to them. So we are going to change that. So if you are terminated for cause, you do not get any PTO paid out to you. And we're asking for an effective date of January 1. That gives us time to get 2 readings with the council and the commissioners, and then time to have all the supervisors in so that we can have a discussion and tell them what's going on, and hopefully everyone's prepared. So it's not just sprung on them, but everyone's prepared when we start January 1st.
Any questions for Doree? Well, I want to thank her because we formed this committee, and I ran the names by her, and we tried to touch on every department or a representative of, and even the judges and things, and we had a good group. And there were times we couldn't all meet at the same time, but we had a big enough group that there were always representatives. And we met, I think we've met for like 6 months, haven't, I mean,
Yeah, it
going
was
over
5
that
or
stuff?
6 times.
Because we met didn't we meet monthly? Yeah, it seemed like it was quite a while, but I want to commend you for putting that together and having everything prepared for us. Sheriff, did you have something you wanted to? He's coming up behind you there.
Just one thing I want to make straight for the record, like Doree said, we had a great crew that worked on this, our committee, and I was part of that. But it was not the request of the sheriff to change the hours. It was a decision of the committee. I wholeheartedly agree because I understand the evenness that you're trying to, the parity that you're trying to put across the board for all county on PTO hours. I understand that completely, got with it, fine. It was not my request to do that. It was a decision of the committee and wholehearted decision. I'm glad we came to it, what we did.
Yeah, good point. We didn't always agree on everything. I mean, there were times that, we kind of,
We can agree to disagree if you
Yeah.
want to.
I mean, yeah, it's, we're all on the same aisle when it comes to county. I don't know about the federal government, but we get along here.
Yeah.
And Chip, you were in those meetings, and I think you can attest that it
Yeah,
wasn't all a,
Being a self-employed person, this whole being paid for PTO thing's new to me, but it was very thorough. I appreciated how, everyone went through the policy line by line, really looked at it. We discussed areas that we had concerns and differences, and I felt like it was a very thorough job, and I think it was a good result. So.
I do
Well,
too.
I
Very
thank
productive.
you, thank Doree for her work, hard work on all this, and you guys, appreciate you.
Thank you.
So this morning in the commissioner meeting, they passed the first reading, but they didn't waive the second reading because they want to have time to digest it and to read through it again.
Okay,
So really, there's no action if we're going to have a second reading, right?
yeah. And apparently, I know there is sometimes the opportunity to waive the second reading, but we can't if
Right.
they've not
No.
done theirs. So, yeah, we'll have to have the second reading then.
Yeah.
But no, I don't think there's anything we need to vote on. We're just, it's just brought
If the
before us,
commissioners had
correct?
passed it this morning, I may have been willing to entertain that as an option, but with them not doing that,
They passed
I'd
the
say.
first reading, but that was it. Isn't that the way that it went?
So Ann, give us counsel here.
I always yell at people, you don't come up to the microphone because people at home can't hear them, so I'll come up.
What?
That's my husband's trick. He always does that. Okay, so there is nothing that would prevent you from going ahead and deciding this, and you could make your motion. I understand that you may be disinclined to do so given the commissioner's situation. So you could go ahead and have a unanimous agreement to decide this on first reading, but we just wanted you to understand. And it was a 2-1 vote, in fact. Brian Collier abstained because he didn't even necessarily want to pass it to second reading because he wanted to look at it. So it is going to take a minute to work through the commissioners.
Okay. Whatever you guys want to do.
Just wait, yeah. Because some folks may not have read through it yet either, so.
So their second reading could be at the same day as your next meeting.
So our November meeting, they would have their second reading in their late meeting in the month, and then we would have, okay, that'll work.
Do we need a motion to
And
table
it
it
is possible that they wouldn't necessarily, like they would defer again, but.
Yeah, potentially. Yeah, okay.
That's fine. The effective date's January 1st, so it's not
Yeah,
a
we've got
huge
time.
rush, so, yeah.
Right. But I'm glad we've gotten on it and getting this started and so that we've got time. We're not rushed on it. Appreciate that. No special meetings or anything to get things done.
Are there any other questions that I might be
Anyone?
able to answer?
Thank you.
Thank you.
What are you gonna do with all your spare time now?
What spare time? Okay, so at this time, we are going to need to recess from our general meeting and move into the public hearing on the expansion of an economic revitalization area. So I look for a motion to recess the general meeting.
Vicki Kivett makes that motion?
We'll second, and we will move into the public hearing. Oh, all those in favor, I'm sorry. All those in favor, please signify by saying aye. Motion approved to move into the public hearing on the expansion of an economic development revitalization area. Is somebody going to present that this evening, or? Okay.
Good evening. My name is Rick Hall, and I'm from the law firm of Barnes and Thornburg, and we represent the applicant, Woodland Caribou LLC. As you know, back in May, in connection with a new project, this council approved a 50% tax abatement for the company and designated the site as an economic revitalization area. An economic revitalization area, as you know, is an area in which tax abatement can be approved, and there were actual tax abatement deductions approved at that time. And this is all consistent with the taxpayer agreement that has been entered into between the county and the council and the company with respect to the project. As you know, this morning, there was a rezoning for some additional land that is being added to the project site. Because that land also could contain investment that was set forth in the original statement of benefits that was approved by this body, we're requesting that the area, economic revitalization area, be expanded to include this new land that is now part of the site.
Okay.
This was preliminarily approved in May and is now back for your final approval here this evening for consideration after a public hearing. I'd be happy to answer any questions.
But this is to add 158 acres to that site, not the original site, right?
It's to make the new area, the new 150 acres, eligible for tax abatement and approving that tax abatement that's all part of the original agreement. There's nothing that's changed in the project from what was previously approved in May.
Any other questions? I have the resolution number. It's 2025-10-6B, as in boy. I know, I'm just giving him the number. So we have any questions or comments? If not, we'll move to a vote? No?
No, public.
Oh, that's
Public
right,
hearing.
we've got to do, okay. I apologize. All of these get me confused. So do we have anyone from the public that wants to speak on the economic revitalization area? If you'll come up, please, and give your full name and your address, if you would.
Austin McKee, 12468 North Gasburg Road, Mooresville, Indiana. Good evening. I'm here tonight to ask you to pause, to hit the brakes on a process that, from my perspective as a citizen, is moving in the dark. This council is about to vote on tax incentives for a data center, a company that has already received a tremendous gift from this county, arbitrary rezoning at the least cost land for their benefit. The fundamental question is this: if these data centers are as profitable and desirable as we're told, why can't they stand on their own? Why must they need subsidized by the taxpayers you represent? While this council didn't handle the rezoning, a yes vote tonight makes you complicit. It approves the backroom deal making that started with the commissioners this morning. And that brings me to my central point: transparency, or the utter lack of it. I have a legal right to information about how these deals are made. I filed a Freedom of Information Act request, the law of the land in Indiana, specifically to uncover discussions surrounding these very tax incentives. The county's response, they're too busy. But it appears the county is not too busy to fast-track more zoning and tax breaks for this company. They are only too busy to obey the law for a single citizen. So I put this question to each of you. How can you, in good conscience, vote to give away public money in the form of tax breaks while the county government is simultaneously failing to fulfill a legal request from one of the public you serve? My ask is simple and reasonable. I am formally requesting that this council delay its vote until a reasonable period, 30 days after my FOIA request is fulfilled. The county has set its own standard for reasonable at 151 days and counting. I am asking for just 30 after you finally follow the law. This isn't about being anti-development, this is about good governance. If you proceed with this vote tonight, knowing my legal request for transparency is being ignored, you are sending a clear message to every constituent that you do not respect them, and you will rubber stamp decisions made behind closed doors without question. You are all on my emails. You cannot claim ignorance of this situation. So I urge you, uphold the law, demand transparency, postpone the vote, show the citizens you represent that their right to know comes before a corporation's right to hand out. Thank you. Any questions?
You don't have to speak it publicly, but do you have the names of who you spoke with that told you they don't have time for that?
Josh Messmer.
Thank you. Any comments, questions? Any else want to speak? And your name, sir?
My name is Carl Gilbert. I'm from Mooresville, Indiana, just right down the road from the data center. Good evening, guys. I appreciate you guys being here tonight and being able to allow us to speak. Like so many others in our community, I pay my taxes every single year without a break and without a handout and without special treatment. So I have to ask, why do the wealthy corporations get breaks while people who have built this county with decades of hard work get nothing? Why is there an incentive for those of us who engaged here throughout good times and bad, supporting local families, hiring local people, because I am a business owner in the county and I got no tax abatements? We hire local people, not outside the county like this company will be, and we pay into this community every year after year. We're told this data center will revitalize our economic, but it's such a great project. Why do they need a tax abatement to survive? Shouldn't the real growth stand on its own without taking from the rest of us? Let's also talk about the roads and the infrastructure, because when the first proposal was made and you guys gave the first tax abatement, it was going to be entered in off 42. The new proposal, they will be entering in off a county road that clearly states with, I think they said 8 signs, no trucks. That road's going to have to be widened and it's going to have work. At whose expense? That's not been addressed yet. Are they going to pay for it, or are we, the taxpayers, going to pay for it because they get a tax abatement? Not the billion-dollar companies getting tax abatements, we're going to pay it. The same taxpayers and small business owners who didn't get a break are the same ones that are going to have to pay for these road projects, deal with the noise and deal with everything else that's going on. The same residents who are dealing with potholes, traffic, and strained infrastructure are again going to have to pay for these guys coming in because they are getting tax breaks. So while they save millions, we're footing the bill for the wear and tear, and that's not revitalization, that's redistribution. I kindly urge you to, with the other gentleman that spoke, give us time, postpone this, give him his FOI, and allow us time to study this case before you make a vote. Thank you.
Thank you. Is there anyone else that would like to speak during the public hearing? Okay. Yes, you may.
I want to address the issue of the APRA request and let the folks here know that Josh Messmer is not the only one to blame, and the fact is that I did receive some information about this in late July. In late July, I did receive some information related to this request. One of the things, and I'm going to have to move this up here, that makes this complicated is the nature of the request and the fact that there are exceptions to the APRA request. So I hear everybody say FOIA, which is the Freedom of Information Act, which would be applicable to a federal request. We have in Indiana the Access to Public Records Act, same thing. In terms of the kind of documents that are excluded are the work product of an attorney. So some of the responsive documents are my work product and need to be reviewed from that standpoint. Also, records relating to negotiations between, there's a list of people, the Indiana Economic Development Corporation, the Ports of Indiana, the Indiana State Department of Agriculture, the Indiana Finance Authority, and Economic Development Corporation. But what matters here is another exception, a governing body of a political subdivision. The records requested implicated certain negotiations between the governing body of a political association, namely Morgan County, with industrial research, commercial prospects. This is a commercial prospect, again. So there was put on my plate a suggestion of, you need to go through these documents and you need to go through this information. And I understand that 151 days sounds like a really long time. And I understand that. But I saw these documents, the whole group of the documents, on July 31st. And that was a reasonable amount of time for Ms. Furley, Josh Metzmer, other folks to get that information to me. And to the extent that August and September have passed, I will tell you, we've all been busy. There's been a lot, I mean, the number of emails and so forth that come to me. But I approached Mr. McKee today. He said he was addressing me in a public meeting. I'm addressing him right back. I am committed to getting this information. Mr. Culp reached out to me and said, please do everything that you can for me. And it is very important to me. I was an undergrad journalism student. I care about the Access to Public Records Act. If you Google me, you can see that one of the first cases I was involved in was a case about access to public records. I'm committed to that. I will tell you this, that I'm not certain that there's anything in these documents that we will be producing to Mr. McKee that aren't public records that he already would have access to through meeting minutes, attendance at public meetings, the documents that are publicly available, because you all are so good about making sure that documents are available online. So I don't know that that would make a difference. But I do fall on my own sword here tonight and let you know that I am sorry that that is even an issue. But the fact is, the taxpayer agreement was voted on in a public meeting. The previous economic revitalization decision was made at a public meeting. And our negotiations are specifically accepted from the Access to Public Records Act. So that is the circumstance that we find ourselves in, and I'll answer any questions.
I have a question. I'm looking back at an email from July 8th, and I just, I responded to Josh after Mr. McKee had sent the email, and that looks like his second attempt, maybe back in May 18. And I just didn't know, has anyone even reached out to him to say, I'm gonna get you what you need, I just need time?
Mr. McKee would know that better than me, but I believe that there have been multiple communications between Mr. Messmer, and I think that may have been where we can't get it, and I know Mr. Culp.
I want to make a statement.
Yeah.
Having been on the other side of this and being stiffed when I've asked for information, it's not acceptable. I know you can't get all of the documents, but you at the very least owe this person a letter that says, here's what I can't get you, here's what and you have to give a time frame. It's not acceptable for this county to treat requests that way.
Understood.
We have to do a much better job of making sure that we give the documentation that they ask for or an explanation as to why we cannot.
Understood.
And I appreciate your explanation. I know we went through a lot of change, moving everything from the other building over here and getting situated. We have had a lot on our plates, but I think just as a constituent, just some sort of response would have been better than none. So, and I do appreciate you, Ann. So I know you have a lot on your plate.
And we will endeavor to get all of the information that we're able to get to him. I don't know that the information is going to satisfy.
No, I get that too.
Because of the exceptions under the statute.
Yeah, I absolutely get that.
Anything else?
Nothing for me. Thank you. All right. Again, is there anyone else that would like to speak while the public hearing is open? Hearing none, I look for a motion to adjourn the public hearing and move back into our general meeting.
Green will make the motion to adjourn the public portion and return to our normal meeting.
Vicky Kivett will second that.
We have a motion by Melissa Green, seconded by Vicky Kivett. All those in favor, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
We are now back into our general meeting, and we will then, I guess, look for questions, comments, anything on the ordinance before we make any moves.
I do have a comment. And one of the council members had asked if I could get some estimates of the property tax impact. These are not official. These are just estimates based on the abatement application. They're estimating they would have a $325 million investment in the area. With a 50% abatement, that leaves a net of $162,500,000. They would pay $2,026,114 per year
Say
with
that
the
again,
abatement.
please.
$2,026,114 per year.
Just round it up.
The abatement, which is for 10 years, we are still getting that much in tax revenue from
Yeah.
the corporation.
Yes, that is an estimate based on the abatement application. The 20 parcels that have transferred so far to this, the total net AV for those was $2,694,552, and those parcels pay a total of a net tax of $33,206 per year. So this does not change the tax levy. This is not extra money, but this corporation would be paying more and reducing the burden on the taxpayers.
So as we increase that AV, what does that do to the rates that everyone pays?
It will bring the rates, it should bring the rates down.
Okay.
I would hope to see it bring the rates down.
Okay.
Now, there is question with SB1 that has changed and that has shifted some of the AVs.
It has the potential to bring our tax rates down.
It's had the potential to.
Yeah, I think one of the changes with Senate Enrollment Act 1 is it's going to just place more and more importance on growing your net assessed value base, and having that done more so with commercial, industrial type property just makes it less of a burden on residential homeowners. So that's one of the big pluses of this project.
And that it doesn't burden services. I know there's a lot of push for homes in that area, and instead of homes, this went in, and if you put 500 or 600 homes in that area, you're gonna have to increase a lot of things within your county, your EMS service, your sheriff's department services, and just overall costs. So those tax dollars do come in, but they do come with some costs to the county as well, where this will not. So just my 2 cents. Anything else? And I think we move on. Discussion or a motion?
What's the resolution number again?
It is 2025-10-6, as in boy.
Chip Keller will make a motion to approve resolution number 2025-10-6B.
Melissa Green will second that motion.
We have a motion on the floor by Chip Keller, seconded by Melissa Green, of approval of resolution number 2025-10-6B. All those in favor, please signify by saying aye.
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 Those opposed, same sign.
Aye.
Motion carries 5-1. All right, looks like next on our agenda is the Harrison Township Fire District levy appeal. Thank you for sticking around. I know these meetings can get long and till we get to you.
I
I really don't have a lot to add from the last time. The only thing I did want to add is that the AV was certified and the growth was higher than the state growth quotient. So with the 3-year levy appeal, the impact is next to none on that. It's very, very small. And that's if it's approved at the state level, of course.
I'm looking for my papers.
You're there.
Sorry, I was looking for my papers. Linda had to help me. Okay,
Just on the bottom.
gotcha. Thank you.
Thanks. Are there any questions, or do you guys have?
Do we need a motion on that?
Yes, the council does have to vote on this because they are a binding unit.
Brian Cope will make a motion that we accept the Harrison Township Fire District excess levy appeal.
Melissa Green will second.
We have a motion by Brian Culp, seconded by Melissa Green. All those in favor, please signify by saying aye.
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 Those opposed, same sign. Motion carries 6-0. Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Thanks again for staying around.
Yeah, not at all.
And then Monroe Township Fire District excess levy appeal. Good evening.
Good evening. A little smaller. Nikki Franklin, Peters Franklin, the municipal advisors for the district. Same thing. I think you heard it last time. As I said, I think I looked at the tax rate. It's like .008 is tax impact for this $37,000 levy increase that the fire department can use to hopefully help fund a half a fireman or something. But that's a growing area up there, and they
It
need all
sure
the help
is.
they can get.
Could you pull the microphone down just a little bit?
Yeah.
Thank you.
Is that better?
Yeah, there you go. I
Sorry.
can hear you now.
Stay on my tiptoes next time.
Hard of hearing, sorry.
It's a short girl issue, right?
It is.
Anyone have questions? Comments? Meredith will make a motion to approve the Monroe Township Fire District excess levy appeal as presented.
Melissa Green will second.
In favor, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Motion carries 6-0. Thank you. And then we have some budget adoptions. Harrison Township Fire District, Monroe Township Fire District, and the Morgan County budget adoption. So we want to go through those one by one. I think we all had a chance to review their budgets, and they've came to us and gone over those budgets, so if there's not any questions or changes, I look for a motion to, you want to approve them all at once, or decline? So I look for a motion to approve the budgets for,
Brian Cope would make a motion that we accept the Harrison Township Fire District budget as presented.
thank you.
Chip Keller will second.
We have a motion by Brian Culp, seconded by Chip Keller, to approve the Harrison Township Fire District. All those in favor, please signify by saying aye. Aye. Same sign. Motion carries 6-0. Moving on to the Monroe Township Fire District.
Vicki Kivett makes a motion we approve.
Kim Meredith will second. All those in favor, please signify by saying aye. Aye. Same sign. Motion carries 6-0. The Morgan County budget.
On that one, we did make the cuts that we discussed last month
Yes.
for the local road and street. And we'll need to come back after the first of the year and
So we can
do an
approve
additional
it and then just do an
appropriation.
additional? Is that,
Yes,
Okay.
at the first of the year.
okay.
And
Could you say that again, please?
Okay. In the local road and street fund, we reduced that by $276,000, and we'll come back after the first of the year and see what was available. We may need to shift something over to the MVH fund, just depending on how much they have carryover from this year. We did the same with the local public health, their budget. We cut that $212,000. I'm confident that she will have the leftover funds from this year. And then on the CUME Cap development, the commissioners, We took out the real estate lease since they closed on the Reporter Times building, so we reduced that one $121,000.
Good. All right.
I'll make a motion then to approve the Morgan County budget with those changes.
Vicki Kivett will make a second.
By Chip Keller, seconded by Vicki Kivett. All those in favor, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, same sign. Motion carries 6-0. We've also had, just to put it on your radar, there's some council appointments that are ending for, in 2025. I got to find that list. Hang on, oh, here it is.
Park Board, if you have one.
Let's touch on this, and then we also need to see what our decisions are on our park board assignments on that too. But I think, and Deb, help me if I'm wrong, but I think what we have coming up are the local alcoholic and beverage board has a council appointment by Patty Dow. I think she'll want to continue that. I don't know if
She does.
Okay, good. So we'll continue with Patty on that. The Mooresville Public Library, no, that's not till 2026. Scratch that. All right, and then we have Sharon Tyree, who is on the Tax Board Appeals, and I assume she'll want to continue on that, but I'll check with her, and I can get back with everybody on that on the next meeting. And then the Redevelopment Commission, myself and Troy Sprinkle serve on that, and I checked with him today to see if he wanted to continue, and he did, and I do too, so if you guys are good with that.
Yep.
Want to boot me off of that and put somebody else in, and then
I wouldn't mind jumping in there sometime.
sometime? Okay.
If you don't want to be there, I wouldn't mind stepping in.
With it right now, I think maybe next year when it comes up again, I may not, but we got some things rolling right now that I would like to see follow through. And then Redevelopment Commission, or not redevelopment, I'm sorry, Economic Development Board, we have Brian Culp as our appointment. Brian wants to keep that. I'm fine with that. Is everybody else good with that too? Okay. I think that was it. And
So I
then,
think, do we want a motion on that? to
Can we go ahead and
continue
make
with
those
everyone?
appointments, or do you want to wait and?
We usually do that in December, don't we?
come up to let you know
Yeah.
who wanted to stay and who didn't, but no,
Yeah.
we can vote on it next time if you want to.
Okay.
And then, is there any other business that needs to come
Park,
before?
park,
Oh, the parks,
park.
yes, yes, okay. I apologize. All right, the parks. As you know, we had, the council was to appoint 2 people to the park board. We had 2 appointments that, and the criteria that we had to meet on that, one has to be a registered Democrat, one has to be a registered Republican. Valita Fritchie contacted me, and she had some names that she wanted to give us, and the one, sent me kind of a little bio on a lady by the name of Becky McKinney, and I was very impressed. She's a child psychologist, she's very involved in parks and things in her personal life, and she just seemed like a good fit. So I wanted to recommend her as our Democrat for the park board. If anyone else has anyone else they wanted
Chuck?
to.
You approve, okay. Good. Chuck and I had talked at the commissioners meeting about him
Okay.
potentially being, but if you're all right with that.
We can take it to a vote. We can. You trust Valita? I do too.
Okay.
Well, I appreciate that. Thank you very much. Yeah, she even got endorsed. So, do we need to take a vote on that? Okay, we want to take them one at a time. If since we've got a Democrat, do we want to vote on that one first and then move to the Republican?
I'll make a motion to approve, or
Becky
to
McKinney.
appoint Becky McKinney to the park board.
Okay, Kim Meredith will second that motion. All those in favor, please signify by saying aye.
Aye?
Those opposed, same sign. Motion carries 6-0. All right, and then we had some interest in the on the Republican side of things, and we had some names that came before us, and so in mentioning those, I did talk to a few of the people that showed interest, so they are interested. So I think it's fair that we bring the names forward, and we probably have a show of hands on, so that they know how it went. But we've got we had Ann Miller that was interested. We had Bethany Latham that showed interest, and I was also presented with Brian had someone that he wanted to recommend, and I'm sorry.
Jason Whitlow?
Jason Whitlow. So those were the three that I received calls on or texts on or in emails, things like that. So if those are our choices, if anyone just wants to make a motion to approve one of those folks, and we can vote on that.
Jason called me, texted me, emailed me within about 5 minutes of seeing it in the newspaper. I know he's very excited about the possibility of being on that. I know that he had worked with Kenny at the parks during his MCLA class, and he had done some projects out there, and he was really looking forward to potentially being on that, so.
I think he sounds like a good fit.
I would make a motion that we accept Jason Whitlow.
I will second that. Vicky Kivett.
We have a motion and a second for Mr. Whitlow. All those in favor, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, same sign. Motion carries. Mr. Whitlow will be our Republican choice. And I do want to shout out to those that did speak up and say they were interested. We want folks to do that. We want you to get involved, and it may not be the right timing at that point, but don't give up on those, and we appreciate those that do get involved in our community. And with that said, we will adjourn our meeting for this evening, and we'll see you back here in November.
Do we need a motion to adjourn?
I'll make a motion that we adjourn.
Second that motion to adjourn.
All those in favor, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Motion carries. Adjourned. Don't leave, though. We got signature docs.